Not very much ice. We've got about 3 to 4 inches here on Lake Audubon, and so historically Lake Audubon's been one of the more popular winter fisheries in North Dakota when you look at angling effort, which is just the number of man hours, number of people that are out here, the amount of time they spend out here. Lake Audubon has traditionally been right near the top here as far as popularity, and just a good solid ice fishery that attracts a lot of attention every year. It's just a place where you just come out and catch a lot of fish. Oh, that's a good fish. There's a nice one. Right back down to the bottom. Sure, one of the powerful freshwater fish that swims right there. Oh yeah, there we go. We are hooked up.
Oh, I never get tired of this. These fish just freight traded.
Oh my. Wow.
The hole, it's a big one.
That is what we're talking about tonight, a cool looking fish.
Jason Mitchell Outdoors is brought to you by Shields, Vexilar, Clam, K-Drill, Ice Armor by Clam, Crestliner, North Dakota Tourism, Clam Pro Tackle, Cooper Chevrolet, Travel Manitoba, and Jason Mitchell Elite Series Fishing Rods.
There we go. Come on up here. That's always cool when you can see them fighting off to the side. Love that. Oh yeah. Yeah. There's just something about walleyes at early ice. There she goes. Whew. Great start to 2019 ice fishing season. Now, Lake Audubon is a pretty large impoundment, and it's located off the Missouri River, where basically it's a part of the Garrison Diversion, and it's separated from Lake Sakakawea by Highway 83. And so Lake Audubon is located right next to Lake Sakakawea, but these lakes are both very different fisheries. And one of the big differences of Lake Audubon is that the southern half of the lake, there's a big portion that's actually a wildlife refuge where there's no fishing except for in the wintertime they allow ice fishing. Lake Audubon, they actually lower it in the fall and then they pump it up in the spring, and so the water levels are a lot more consistent than what you'll find on Lake Sakakawea. Oh, these fish just look angry, don't they? Don't you just love that pose? So Lake Audubon's always been kind of a special place to me, a place that I love to come back to, a place I don't ever get back to enough, because I grew up fishing out here as a kid. I would say, as a kid, Lake Audubon had a big influence on my fishing as far as just getting me hooked. I remember coming out here in high school, coming out after school, coming out after work. I can't tell you how many nights I've spent out on this lake fishing, but we didn't have map chips. We didn't know a lot of things that we know now. You could just come out here and catch fish, and that's what I loved about it. You didn't have to have a lot of equipment or a lot of gear. Oh, there we go. So yeah, just usually a numbers deal when you come out here and hit this right. You just come out here and catch a lot of fish. That's what people love about fishing on Lake Audubon. I'm just fishing aggressively with just a loud rattle spoon. My mentality being is that I want the fish to hear me. I want the fish to see me. If there's any fish around, they're going to come running and I'm going to try to catch that fish. And so with aggressive presentation, sometimes, you know, you're anticipating lining up with the attitude of an aggressive fish. With that being said, a lot of different things work out here. I mean, we've caught a lot of fish on tip-ups with just big minnows. There's a lot of times when I'm coming out here on Lake Audubon during the day and I want to catch fish, a lot of times I will go deeper. Just basically go up the ends of the points, the ends of the reefs, you know, in that adjacent deep water. And that's a good starting point. And if you're catching fish in that deep water, usually you can slide up on the structure once that sun gets low and you just keep popping fish and just follow the fish up as they move shallow. One thing that strikes me about Lake Audubon is just aggressive schools of fish. These fish are like wolf packs. You'll contact fish, it'll be just bang, 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 you know, and I remember, you know, spending the night out here where a wave of fish would come through and every rattle reel would be down. I mean, it's just chaos. And so it's just a matter of trying to line up on these fish and intercept them. So when you find them, you usually catch them. See here, oh, there's a fish down there. There he is. Oh. You know, you can catch fish during the day. I anticipate as the sun gets a little lower, this bite's just going to keep getting better and better. But we're kind of off the end of the point here right now, out in 23 feet. Then later on the day, I imagine we'll move up in 15 feet. I mean, I've caught them in the past here where we've been up in 5-6 feet of water and caught fish. So what I love about this is really clear water, and so it seems like these fish are just prowling. They're really aggressive. It seems like when you find the fish, you catch them. I mean, it's not too many games where you mark a lot of fish and you can't get them to bite. Usually early ice, Lake Audubon, you're dealing with just aggressive fish. You know, it's the middle of the day, so I'm out deeper here, and basically what I'm doing is I'm just drilling a grid of holes off the ends of these points. I'm just bouncing from hole to hole, picking off a fish here and a fish there. Once the sun gets lower, then I'm going to settle down and hopefully I can just sit in a couple of key spots and just let the fish roll through. But middle of the day, you know, these fish aren't moving, they're not cruising and up looking for a meal. But where you're going to catch them is go to them. And so that's really important. Middle of the day is to be somewhat aggressive in the sense that drill a lot of holes and fish a lot of holes, and the fish you pick off will add up through the day. There we go. There she comes. Oh yeah, there's a nice walleye. You know, and typically as a general rule of thumb, especially at early ice, you can usually count on these Lake Audubon walleyes as being pretty aggressive fish. When they come up, they eat it. There's no doubt in your mind. Usually they don't play games. You know, this ice is really clear. I mean, there's places where I can see through and see the bottom in 6 feet of water, but it's also really slippery. And so as far as just the basic essentials you need early ice, as far as safety, ice cleats is probably aspect number one, as far as probably more likely to slip and fall and hurt yourself than to fall through, you know, at least 2 to 4 inches of ice. With that being said, when you come out here, use a spud bar. One chop, if that spud bar doesn't go through, that ice will support your weight. 2 chops, typically you have about 4 inches, okay? The other thing is ice picks. You know, and these ice picks here just come apart. Just for something to grab onto the ice if you fall through, or even if you don't have ice picks, just put a screwdriver or something in your pocket, just something to get a grip, because it's going to be really hard to pull yourself out. Have a throw rope, but just a basic You know, just the basic essentials, either a life jacket or a lift suit or some type of flotation, but 3 to 4 inches is going to support you walking out here. And then basically 5 to 6 inches will support a lot of ATVs, 12 inches will support a lot of vehicles. The thing about walking on 2 to 4 inches of ice, there's no room for air. There's been geese sitting out here in places, there's springs in places, and so you don't mess or compromise with ice safety, especially at early ice. It's not a contest as far as who can get out here first.
Jason Mitchell Outdoors is brought to you by these industry leaders. Introducing the Rise Float Suit with Motion Float technology. Breathable, waterproof, secure, and all the features that make the difference. Waterproof cell phone pocket, rapid drain system, and maximum flexibility. Fish with security in the Rise Float Suit from Ice Armor by Clam. Rise above. Clam Outdoors. Pursue the ice.
A Vexilar is responsible for more fish being caught than any other piece of equipment you could buy.
You know what? Fishing lures and gadgets have come and gone over the last 60 years. But Vexilar's mission statement has been true, helping anglers catch more fish.
Vexilar is the gold standard in sonar performance and reliability in flasher sonar technology.
Your ice fishing adventure begins and ends with a Vexilar by your side.
Happy 60th, Vexilar!
Woohoo! Yeah, what's my favorite series of hubs? The Clam C series shelters work best for us.
Hey, what's our favorite ice sub shelter? The X series from Clam Outdoors.
Choose the hub shelter that's right for you at Clam Outdoors. Pursue the ice.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep hopping around here. This is kind of that coveted witching hour right now. I'm gonna move up a little shallower. Here comes one. Come on, eat it, eat it. Oh, there he is. All right, oh yeah. There we go, oh yeah. Oh, see that sun's getting low. I tell you what, there's a prime time. It's probably that half hour before sunset to maybe an hour after sunset, but it's just walleye 30 here on Lake Audubon. All right, fun. You know, one of the big challenges of fishing Lake Audubon is if you look at a contour map, you know, there's so much structure, there's almost too many spots to fish. Luckily, there's a lot of fish in the lake, and so it's not like all the fish are in one spot anyways, but what I like to look at early ice especially, just long flats, long points that stick way out, and then just drop off sharp into that deep water. And a lot of times you'll find fish on top of these flats, especially after dark. You know, you might find fish in 5 to 12 feet of water. During the daytime, you probably have to go a little deeper to find fish. Lake Audubon is a lake that really sets up for a good after dark bite. I mean, you can come out here and catch fish during the day. Usually evenings, sunsets, prime time, that's one of the best times to be out here. And a lot of times you can catch fish all through the night. Oh, here comes one. Come on, come on, come on, eat it. Oh, there he is. There we go. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's what Lake Audubon is full of right there. You see here, they got about that much ice, 3 to 4 inches, and you got to be careful out here. There's a lot of springs in this lake. We're just walking out from a point, but tell you what, early ice is typically one of the best times of the year to be out here. You can just walk out and catch some nice fish. Sunset, right after dark, that's kind of the prime time.